This silhouette is the most recognizable brand in the world, more famous than Apple or Coca-Cola. A weapon that has killed more people than Hiroshima, yet became an icon of freedom. Did you think it was just a piece of iron from the USSR? You're wrong. This is a religion whose prophet is a wounded sergeant, and whose temples are underground factories across the planet. The Kalashnikov isn't about patriotism. It's about survival in hell. While Western gunsmiths were lounging in their design bureaus, Mikhail Kalashnikov, choking on pain in a hospital bed, was sketching the blueprints for a death machine. He didn't just create an assault rifle, he created the perfect tool for those with nothing to lose. Over 70 years, the concern has grown from the dusty workshops of Izhevsk into a global octopus that today produces everything from silent sniper rifles to kamikaze drones powered by artificial intelligence. This is the story of how the good old AK shed its wooden stock and donned digital camouflage, transforming into a high-tech nightmare for any adversary. But what actually happened in that hospital ward in 1941? Was it the genius of a self-taught man, or have we been lied to for 70 years about the origins of this rifle? We are about to open the first folder, 1941. The Bryansk forests, the whistle of German bullets, and the mangled shoulder of a young tank driver. While academicians in rear-line design bureaus spent years drafting ideal blueprints, an ordinary sergeant on a hospital bed, choking with pain and rage, conceived something that turned the world upside down. How did a guy without a higher education show up, the elite of Soviet engineering? The official version states, Mikhail Kalashnikov created his AK-47 solely thanks to proletarian ingenuity. But experts still debate, how did a wounded self-taught man produce a design in a matter of months that global giants had spent decades pursuing? He discarded everything unnecessary, leaving only primal power. No delicate parts, no fear of dirt. In the hospital corridors, amidst the smell of iodine and death, the Black Barrel was born, what would later be called the most effective killing tool in human history. It was a challenge to the entire old school of gunsmiths. Kalashnikov proved that war is not mathematics, but brute force and absolute simplicity. But was Kalashnikov alone in that hospital ward? Rumors that captive German geniuses had a hand in the AK blueprints still make historians nervous. What was really being hidden in Izhevsk in '47? You can drown it in a swamp, run over it with a tank, or freeze it into a block of ice. One strike against the knee, and it is spitting lead again. This is not magic, but the engineering sadism of Izhevsk masters. What is the secret of this indestructibility that makes even the best NATO rifles falter? While Americans in Vietnam were dying trying to clean their temperamental M16s, the Viet Cong simply pulled AKs out of the silt and opened fire. The secret of its endurance lies in the massive clearances. Kalashnikov intentionally made the parts loose so that dirt, sand, or carbon buildup would be expelled with every shot. This weapon forgives the soldier for everything, from laziness to a total lack of lubrication. During trials, the rifles were hurled from heights, boiled in oil and covered in abrasives. The AK survived where even a crowbar would break. It became hard currency in global hotspots. The rifle is worth more than gold because gold cannot shoot back. But such versatility came at a price. Why did snipers hate the early models? And why did the Soviet standard force designers to take radical measures in the 60s? In the 1960s, the Kalashnikov suddenly lost a kilogram but became more dangerous. While the world was accustomed to heavy lead, Soviet engineers made a discovery. A bullet doesn't necessarily have to be large to turn a target into mincemeat. Why did Izhevsk switch to the small caliber that soldiers nicknamed poisonous? The modernized AKM became a triumph of stamping, cheaper, lighter, meaner. But the real revolution happened with the arrival of the AK-74. The transition to the 5.45mm caliber caused a storm of controversy until medics saw the results. The light bullet with a hollow nose began to tumble frantically upon impact, turning internal organs into mush. It was a new level of brutality disguised as progress. The concern changed the very physics of death. New ballistics allowed for longer and more accurate shots, transforming the assault hammer into a precision instrument for clearing territories. But while the USSR celebrated its success, the Iron Curtain collapsed and Izhmash found itself on the brink of destruction. How did the factory survive in the 90s, when wages were paid in shotguns and bandit groups waited outside the gates? 1991, the Red Giant collapsed, burying state orders and stability under its rubble. Yesterday's heroes of labor found themselves on the street, while wind and the echoes of gang wars swept through the workshops of Izhmash. How did the legendary factory avoid turning into a shopping mall and instead survive an era when an assault rifle was traded for a bag of potatoes or a bullet? The 90s became a true horror story for the concern. There was no money even for heating, and unique machines stood as monuments to former greatness. But it was hunger that forced the Izhevsk masters to become aggressive predators of capitalism. To avoid perishing, the factory introduced the 100th series to the market. AKs for any ammunition, from NATO rounds to exotic ones. They sold the legend to anyone with dollars, from African leaders to rebels. The concern learned to survive without state patronage, churning out civilian carbines and export hits. It was a fierce struggle for existence, where the Kalashnikov brand became a lifeline for thousands of workers. But while the old workshops fought for life, a revolution was already maturing in secret design bureaus. How did the AK-12 hatch from the ruins of the Soviet giant? A modular beast that looks more like a computer than an old weapon. Forget about your grandfather's paddle with its peeling lacquer. In 2018, Kalashnikov officially suited up in a tactical exoskeleton. This is no longer just a piece of stamped steel. It is a modular beast that looks as if it was stolen from the set of John Wick. Why were so many bells and whistles added to the legend? And did it lose its soul in the process? The AK-12 became a radical response to accusations of the backwardness of Russian weaponry. The concern threw out the old templates and created a construction set for adults. Picatinny rails allow the barrel to be decked out with lasers, flashlights, and optics in a matter of seconds. A telescopic stock, ergonomic grip, and free-floating handguard transformed the harsh Soviet classic into a comfortable tool for modern special forces. Engineers fought for every millimeter of grouping, making the rifle shoot tighter than ever before. It was a leap from the era of mass attacks into the era of precision operations, where one accurate shot decides everything. But has the AK-12 become too delicate for trench mud? While skeptics argue over ergonomics, Izhevsk has already taught the weapon to kill, in a whisper. Are you ready to hear the sound of death that has no echo? The concern is not only about hurricane fire, but also the icy calm of a surgeon. We looked into the closed workshops where weapons are created that kill with silence and hit the target precisely at a distance of a kilometer. How did the Izhevsk masters teach steel to stay silent while taking a life? The development of precision systems brought Kalashnikov into the major leagues of global special forces. The SV-98 sniper rifle became the answer to Western models, proving that Russia knows how to create not only a mass tool, but also high-precision art. Silent complexes caused a real sensation. While the enemy waits for a roar, the modernized systems whisper a verdict. The use of heavy bullets and integrated suppressors turned shooters into invisible ghosts. The concern enabled the elite to decide the outcome of a conflict with one pull of the trigger while remaining in the shadows. But rifles are only the tip of the iceberg. The legendary brand is now building things that can swim and crush the enemy with multi-ton armor. Why did the weapons giant need boats and tanks? Why limit oneself to assault rifles when one can create armored fortresses? Kalashnikov has moved beyond small arms and begun seizing the heavy equipment market. It is no longer just a factory. It is a monster building everything capable of swimming, crushing, and destroying on an industrial scale. The expansion into the armored vehicle and high-speed boat segment has turned the concern into a universal war machine. Now, the K brand is not only the barrel in an infantryman's hands, but also multi-ton APCs and landing craft. The concern applied its main trademark, brute reliability, to heavy machines. Their equipment does not fear mines, does not stall in the desert, and can be repaired on the fly right in the heat of battle. This is an aggressive seizure of territory. Kalashnikov accompanies the soldier from the shore landing to the very last bullet. The giant has transformed into a closed ecosystem where steel and armor speak the language of force. But it is not tanks that cause icy terror among strategists, but the silent shadows overhead. Are you ready to find out how Kalashnikov learned to kill from the sky, leaving no chance even for protected targets? Kalashnikov has gained wings, and that is bad news for those accustomed to hiding in trenches. While the world discussed bolts and receivers, Izhevsk engineers made death fly. Drones that see everything and strike without missing are a new reality, where the enemy has no chance even to hear the end approaching. The integration of UAVs into the product line is not a nod to fashion, but a seizure of the future. Zastava drones and Lancet loitering munitions have transformed the hardware manufacturer into a high-tech predator. These devices are the perfect killers. They are cheap, inconspicuous, and possess AI that allows them to operate in swarm mode. The future of war is already here. While the enemy searches for a shooter in the bushes, a drone is already diving onto his head, turning armored vehicles into a pile of scrap. But who is actually pressing the button? An operator in a cozy chair or the algorithm itself, having decided to eliminate the target? And how does civilian weaponry help test technologies for these ruthless aerial reapers? Millions of people own a Kalashnikov legally without being soldiers. From American farmers to Russian hunters, why have civilian versions of the assault rifle become the most coveted commodity? Is the craving for the black barrel truly in our blood? The Saiga line is a brilliant commercial maneuver by Izhevsk strategists. Taking the fail-safe mechanics of the AK as a foundation, engineers created the ideal weapon for hunting, sports, and self-defense. In the US, the Saiga once caused a frenzy. Collectors swept it off the shelves, valuing the rugged Soviet reliability that delicate Western rifles lack. For the concern, the civilian market is not just about money, but a giant testing ground. Thousands of amateur shooters test ergonomics and accessories daily, acting as free testers. The most successful solutions later migrate into combat models for special forces. But how are video game technologies being integrated into metal today, turning a sight into a computer that calculates the trajectory itself? We are on the threshold of an era where a miss will become technically impossible. The concern is working on things that were considered science fiction only yesterday. We have learned about the development of bullets that change course in flight and sights that see through concrete. Is the era of ordinary shooters over, and will only algorithms do the fighting now? Today, Kalashnikov is a full-fledged digital ecosystem. Neural networks in sights, augmented reality, and biometric safeties are no longer blueprints, but real prototypes. The concern is creating weapons that suggest the exact moment to fire, accounting for wind, humidity, and the soldier's pulse. The assault rifle is turning into a computer where steel is merely a shell for complex software. We are on the threshold of an era where a miss will be a system error, not a human one. This is the high-precision warfare of the future, where a smart AK will mark a target before the soldier even sees it. Will there be a place in this digital paradise for that legendary Kalashnikov simplicity that for decades saved lives in the mud of real trenches? From a homemade carbine in a hospital ward to a global empire dictating the rules of the game on every continent. Kalashnikov is more than a designer's surname. It is the genetic code of modern history, written in gunpowder gases. In over 70 years, the concern has survived everything: triumphs, betrayals, bankruptcies, and a rebirth from the ashes. It has become the absolute global standard, the golden ratio in the world of death and security. This is the story of how a Russian sergeant's brilliant idea conquered time and forced a legend to breathe fire in the age of artificial intelligence. Today, Kalashnikov is a guarantee that anywhere on the planet, under the most subhuman conditions, a fighter will have a chance for the decisive shot. The empire did not just survive, it mutated into something far more powerful. Tomorrow, war will change, and robots will occupy the battlefields, but rest assured, the familiar steel silhouette will still lie in the hands of the survivors. Subscribe to the channel. Here we look through the scope of the future and are not afraid to pull the trigger of truth.